Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 31. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here from High-Tech Investment, and welcome back to the channel where we're going to have a closer look at Week 31. Week 31 was definitely not one of the best weeks either, so just as we are trying to get back on our PAMM accounts, things started to happen once again. The Forex market is definitely in some kind of turmoil here at the moment, and we also call it Carnage. It continued in this particular week, and it looks like already here, as we are shooting the video Monday morning, that also this particular week here is going to be even more crazy. We have already had some serious issues on the RSI PAMM account in here. I'm going to try and talk to you about it exactly a bit later. So we have spent a lot of time over the weekend trying to make sure that the account was safe, also increasing gap sizes and then decreasing lot sizes. But obviously something happened in here. We're not exactly sure what. We have already reached out to both Alex and also the EA developers in here to try and understand what happened, because there was a huge amount of trades that was actually being placed with this EA, and that actually had a bit of a consequence in here that I'm going to explain later on in the video. But obviously the Forex market at the moment is definitely in a carnage, in a turmoil. Things looks pretty much like the crypto market normally did when we were in that one before. Forex markets always used to have a top and a bottom, and you could sort of calculate your way out of that one. It seems everything has been blown, all the borders, all the limits, everything else at the moment. And as we said, it is completely carnage. We're going to have a look at it with all our EAs, how they have been doing. And obviously also part of this, because Alex is very much aware also from Expert Forex, that the market is certainly turning around, and that's basically why he have also a trend analyzer tool in here that can provide us with a bit of information and detail as the trending for the individual currency pairs, which ones maybe you should trade or not trade, or simply gap size, lot size, to increase the risk of having sure that we have a positive account all the way around. Obviously, this is only coming out here now. It has been there in previous versions, definitely. But I think this is one of the videos that you cannot avoid to look at, especially when the market is what it is now. But let's go through all the things that had happened this particular week here, and then we'll see. So as usual, we're going to start off with Yieldnodes, and actually no news for this particular week here is good news. Definitely we don't want to have anything else happening. Very, very boring week for Yieldnodes. Nothing new has come out. And what we mentioned in last week's news report was basically the new audit coin reserves, where you can go on the website itself on Yieldnodes and go and have a closer look at which ones have been staking. So the different coins that has been staking in here, and the amount also. But let's have a closer look at the SAP coin. SAP coin again continues to move in the same area. Last time that we left it, it was basically at 7 zeros and then a 4, and it looks like pretty much within the same range, still around there, but sideways trading. Nothing is really happening, and as we said many times, I don't think anything will happen until we get some good positive news out of the new business section that Yieldnodes and Decenomy is still working on. So in the meantime, let's go to our staking also, and we haven't gotten anything in from our SAP since the 27th of July. So at the moment, nothing at all for August, and that is not unusual, as you can also see here last time. So we had 3 times the previous week, 22nd, 25th and 27th of July. And after a month of pretty much nothing, then all of a sudden these 3 came in. So most probably something similar will happen here also for the month of August. We do, however, have some PNY coming in for the staking. We actually had 2 in the past week. So that follows a bit of a better pattern than SAP at the moment. And overall, it actually provided 1.2% with 266 PNY. So at least something is coming in, positive news. Whoever has Bitcoin doesn't have any positive news here either, because that has been dropping also like crazy. 68,000 was where we left it last week. Since then, it has pretty much been dropping all the way through and all the way down here now to 52,585. So also here, not very good news at the moment within the Bitcoin market. Trillant news. Well, again, no news is good news. The last time that we had anything from them was basically tell us that no longer we get the newsletter every single week. We will now get it once a month. We haven't seen the first one that will come out once a month, but maybe it's going to come out in the beginning of the month. Maybe it's going to come out at the end. We're not exactly sure, but all in all, we'll have to wait and see until that one is being updated. In the meantime, let's go to coinstore.com with the tree coin. Also here, it is negative, pretty much the same schedule as what you just saw on Bitcoin. It comes from 0.0001003. And again, we lost another 20% on the tree coin this particular week here. So we are now down to point and then 4 zeros, 790. So definitely not a very good development here either. And when we're talking about the money tree, you will basically notice that we had a crash on the money tree here also due to the recent Forex fluctuations. We let this particular one run until the end of the month, and that's why you actually see that the low risk account made $93 or 5.3%. The medium risk one did $96, so 3%. And then the high risk one, $109, so 4.3%. Overall, that is the only good and positive news we have from the money tree, because if you look at the entire month of July, low risk one did a big hit of minus 1,627 or 47.9%. So definitely not what we wanted. Also the medium risk in here, 3,585 or minus 52.9%. So also here, money tree took a big hit, and of course also the high risk one with minus 2,017 or minus 44.3%. So this particular money tree here, we're actually going to put it on the side from our website itself. Tell them, okay, it's not really working over long periods of time. We have now seen plenty of times where things are actually going wrong in here. And as you'll see, we have tried to adjust it in the past few times. We thought this was actually the sweet spot. This was the way things were running. And then here in the past 10 days, we again ended up with another major loss in here due to the fluctuation in the Forex markets. And obviously we cannot keep going like this. So we have to say, well, sorry, we cannot get it to work, even though we tried with multiple different types of currencies. We tried the developer setup, and yet we still can't get this one to work. If we have a look at the numbers itself, you can see that we have made losses in the past. So 557 in here. So this is the month. Going back to June of 2023, we had another one here again with 790. And after that, we had pretty okay, until we all of a sudden again get another stop out here of minus 3,585. And then you can see the $86 that we have made for August. But this particular EA is being closed. Trade Explorer also here, the 22 pair account was also stopped out, had a huge margin call. So something we never seen before here either. I did mention that in the previous news report in here. The 10 pair one does a whole lot better. So as we said, we always found this one to be the lower risk one, $535 or 5.4%. Definitely a good results overall. And we're happy that this one here still looks very safe, even this particular week here. The drawdown is obviously up, but definitely within what we would have expected in the first place. So it looks like the 10 pair one is the one to look out for also in the future. In the meantime, let's have a look at the month of July, the 22 pair. Obviously, as we said, we started off with a $10,000 account. We continued to trade it like $10,000. It came up to almost 25,000. And with just the move in the market that actually happened in this particular one, was the Japanese currency, but there was also a few other currencies that was actually acting up at the same time. and that completely blew the account with minus 22,826 or 96.9%. So again, incredible that this has been running for such a long time, and then this happened. 10 pair 1 cashed in $1,634 or 16.3%. So that is quite good. It's a bit high compared to what we have seen in the past, but that's also because of the volatile markets. It will be cashing in quite nicely, but it will also have some drawdowns to go with it. So if you have a look at the 22 pair, which obviously we'll have to see, we're going to start this one up again in some way, shape and form. Obviously the losses in here, we also got a loss for April because we didn't stop it completely. We will do that here now also. And let's see if we're going to set a new one up. You can see all the currency pairs that is in here and the history of 445 days. That looked to be an extremely good history, very good, very stable. And then all of a sudden, boom, this particular thing happens and nothing we can do about it. 10 pair 1 seems to be doing a whole lot better. As you can see, the weekly returns, monthly returns, obviously these are based again as we are trading everything on a $10,000 account. We did have one loss here back in August, as we mentioned before. But apart from that, things have been quite well. The highest we ever got was in November 2,520. And since then, things have been going sort of roughly around 1,000 per month. And then obviously in July, we got 1,634 already. And you can see August is underway with 194. So it is doing quite well, even though it is a bit higher on the drawdown compared to previous times. Wave Liberator for week 31. Wave Liberator actually are still doing quite well overall for the individuals. There is some that has drawdowns. You can see Great British Pounds Japanese, one of the most volatile ones, actually did $311 or 31.1%. So huge, obviously cashed in on that particular market here. Aussie USD $184 or 18.4%. Aussie New Zealand $141 or 14.1%. And then Aussie Japanese, so another Japanese currency here, $119 or 11.9%. And then Euro USD $86 or 8.6%. Total amount if you would have traded those, and this is again on a $1,000 account. So obviously huge gains for this particular week. You would have made $841 or 16.8% overall. So definitely a very good month, but also with that comes other issues. Now, if you have a look at the top 5 for July, you will again see here that it's pretty much just dropped in with all the Japanese currencies. Great British Pounds Japanese overall for the month, $435 or 43.5%. Definitely completely massive and crazy. US Japanese currency, $327 or 32.7%. And then Aussie USD, $308 or 30.8%. Swiss francs Japanese, $274, 27.4%. And then Aussie Japanese, $246 or 24.6%. Overall, for an entire month with these 5 EAs, you would have made $1,589 or 31.8%, which is completely crazy and shows exactly what is happening at the moment with the Forex market. You can see the EAs we have set up here. We have 22 EAs. And at the moment, the balance is up to 242, equity 226. Floating profit has actually gone up even more than what you see here from 15,000. We're all the way up now to about 20. But obviously, again, we are running so that we could keep within the FTMO range of 5%. But that is no longer possible here now. As you can see, if this has come up to about 20,000, so in the last couple of hours, then again, we are out on the FTMO, so your account will be taken away from you. Total return 8.8%, monthly returns 1.3%. And if again, weekly returns 0.3 in here, trade win 68. So all the numbers here is extremely good for the Wave Liberator, also with a history of 349 days overall. But obviously you have to dial everything extremely down. So in order to trade anything in the Forex market here at the moment, where you can find the individual currency pairs. So on our website, you can go and have a look at them and see which ones you actually want to be involved in here at the moment and which ones you want to try to avoid. Obviously, sometimes, for example, like the US Japanese or the Aussie Japanese in here, so they will create a lot of profits for you, but they can also create a lot of drawdowns. And that's why you have to be extremely careful with trading the Forex market right now. If we have a look at the numbers, again, we can see the history of 352 days, so pretty much a year. And you can see what has happened to the market overall. These are the individual weeks. Look, 400, 200, we have 500, 600 is the absolutely top. And then all of a sudden, look here last week, 1,408, completely crazy. And that also tells you what has happened here to the Forex market. All of a sudden, incredible big movements we haven't seen before. There was one time back in 2020 with COVID, there was a reason for it where everybody panicked, but here it is hard to see the reason, especially because it goes over so many different currency pairs here at the moment. Have a look at the individual month also for the same portfolio. Again, we are doing 1,000, 2,000 in here, and then we are now topping up for month of July, 2,675. So obviously very, very good numbers for the portfolio overall. And if we have a look on the RSI Liberator to see how that one is going, then Swiss francs Japanese, also here a lot of Japanese currency pairs, $242, 24.2%. Great British Pounds Japanese, $109, 10.9%. And then Euro Great British Pounds, $95 or 9.5%. US Japanese, $68 or 6.8%, and then New Zealand Japanese, $61 or 6.1%. Overall, if you would have traded those top 5 in the past week, you would have made $576 or 11.5%. And obviously, again, extremely high numbers here due to the serious volatility of the market. Having a look at the RSI Liberator for an entire month of July. Also here, again, Japanese pairs is in here. Swiss francs Japanese. Swiss francs definitely has also been on the move, going completely crazy and bottom out on the markets and topping out on other ones. $679 or 67.9%. Crazy numbers. Great British Pounds Japanese, $524, 52.4%. New Zealand Japanese, $339 or 33.9%. Great British Pounds CAT, $203 or 20.3%. And then US CAT, $187 or 18.7%. Overall, those top 5, hang on to your shorts, ladies and gentlemen, in here, has made $1,933 or 38.7%. So for the month of July, absolutely crazy numbers. If we have a look at the entire portfolio in here, also here we have 22 EAs. They are up to 228,933, but there's an equity of only 212,000 because the floating profit and loss is at -16. Again, huge drawdowns all of a sudden coming out due to the changes in the Forex market. Total return is now down to a minus. Monthly returns was calculated to 1.1% with a weekly return of 0.3. Again, this was also supposed to be within the level of FTMO range of 5% as a maximum drawdown. We haven't seen it anywhere above 4% at any given time until this particular last week and this week in here. So that just shows you again how everything is running. 118 days of history overall here. And again, on the website, you can see the individual currency pairs. All you have to do is simply click on here and you will see how the individual currency pairs are doing. If they're up, if they're down, what kind of drawdown there is there at the end of the day. So let's have a look at some of the numbers. 121 days of history we have. And if we have a look at the weekly profits in here, you can see they have been up lately, 929 after we made some changes to the RSI. It did a lot better, but also the market changed, 668, 751 last week, and then this week 954. So again, this is the all-time high within the RSI portfolio itself. Then obviously we also have a look at the monthly profits. And again here, that also has shot up for the entire portfolio with $3,346. And you can compare that to the previous months of $1,600, and then almost 2,000 in here. At the end of the day, again, we are trading all of them, so as they were on $10,000 accounts, so that would not really change. So that's where you can see the volatility in the market has dramatically gone up. Now, previously here also, we have made quite a few videos on PAMM accounts, and especially also the RSI PAMM account. Explain how you can actually get in, also explain what we do when we put it under the microscope, how we're trying to find the most stable and secure settings, and then also how we actually split the accounts in order to follow the individual currency pairs. So you can find that on our YouTube channel and in the link in the video here below. But we're going to have a look at the high-tech investment Wave Liberator account here first. And this particular one has now been running 157 days in here, and previous weeks it was in a bit of a drawdown. It came out of it, and just as it came out of it, then all of a sudden the Forex market simply started trending again. We have actually dialed this one down by 50%, so that is actually minus 50% on the risk strategy. So, and incredibly enough, then we still have a look at the profits overall was 9,373. So just for the past week compared to previous weeks. So that is actually with the EA already dialed down heavily in here. Now, if we try to figure out exactly how much we made for this particular month on that account, again, on the FX Blue, it says 12,341. There was some withdrawals right after we came out of the drawdown. You can see withdrawals is about 17,500. There was also some deposits, and we, to the best of our knowledge, try to figure out what was the real results in here. And we believe it's somewhere around the 15,800 mark. And we also have our MQL5 normally to do this, but we saw here, and you'll also notice that a lot of these red triangular ones up here is actually withdrawals that has there. So you can see there's quite a few, and then the green ones down here is actually adding money into the account overall. We did see the correction results before money was actually taken out. We believe it's somewhere around the 5.1% mark overall, which is obviously not much. But again, the Forex market is completely crazy at the moment. So it is simply dialed down everything the best we can. And it's, as I said, more than 50% from when we actually introduced these particular accounts, which makes it even more insane. So corrected results, 15,800 is most probably the closest thing we can actually get to this. If we have a look at the RSI Liberator account also in here, we can see that that one has also been going quite well with a history of 108 days. And again, in here, we can see the weekly returns, 2,000, 1,000, 2,000, 1, 1, 1. And then all of a sudden it's up to 3, it's up to 4, 2. So 4,218 is what we made last week in here. And if we also go to this particular one, we will see that the entire month of July, we made 9,490. So it's up heavily. And again, also here, we actually dialed down the EA because of the individual currency pairs trending heavily. So that means actually we're using a lot lower lot sizing in here. And also at the end of it, we also open the cap size a lot more than what we would normally do. Already here in August, it was cashing in quite a lot of money again for the volatile currency pairs in here. And you'll see that the best estimate we have is pretty close to MQL5. There was only 2 withdrawals in here. So overall, the results was 9.8%. So you can clearly see that this was dialed down as much as possible. And then the money overall, 9,490, was the best also that we did. Obviously, there was also a lot more money coming in. That's why the percentage is still lower. So as we try to balance out the risk. Now, unfortunately here, something has happened also Monday morning, just before we are launching this. You're actually looking at a trading chart in here for the RSI Liberator. And what we have done is actually, you can see these are the green marks up here is the range where they normally put in a new trade. You can see one here, one there, one here. And obviously over the weekend, we have made some adjustments. We increased the gap size to make sure that the account got even safer. We lowered the lot size, and then all of a sudden we get some very strange parts, which unfortunately I cannot dissect completely at the moment, but we get a lot of extra buy signals where there are supposed to be none at all. Some of them we actually managed to close manually in here, but we are very puzzled about what exactly has happened. And this has also led to basically a margin call on the RSI Liberator PAMM account. So we are completely destroyed over this. We don't really understand why all these trades would be set all of a sudden. We did the same exact thing here also for the Wave Liberator PAMM account. That has worked without a glitch. This one here seems to have gone completely crazy and just setting a lot of different ones. So we have now gone to Alex and expert Forex here, of course, with EA Factory to understand. You can see here also we have another one. So again, this is the RSI, this is the Aussie Swiss francs. We have the grid size in here. We open up the grid size, as you can see, and things didn't happen until all of a sudden here earlier this morning. It started simply to just put a lot of different buys in here at the same time. And as the price continued to drop, it simply wiped out the account. So instead, it should simply have stopped trading. It should have traded with the new and a lot lower lot size that we had actually put in for this particular one. You have the same here with the Aussie USD. Also in here, big cap sizes we have in here, and then all of a sudden you get some small lot sizing, and then all of a sudden you get a big one down here also. So something seriously gone wrong with this. Now we also have to cover our lucky trader to see how actually that has been going so far. So the lucky trader was tested out, so now a bit more than a month ago. And we mentioned in previous videos here that also the Forex market actually kicked out the Aussie Swiss francs and Aussie USD in here. So they also got a margin call, and the rest of the ones are still very much running. We need to now get the new lucky trader in here and continue the trading and adding new currency pairs in here to create a bigger portfolio, because the portfolio at the moment, it looks like this. So obviously it took a drop from those two, and we're going to have to basically move them here from the portfolio itself. That's also why you can see that overall we lost 17,000 in the past week, 17,335. We're also down this particular week here with 840. Those are the same two EAs that obviously got a margin call, and then another one in here for this particular week, or last week, sorry. So that's the reason for it. We're gonna have to remove those from the portfolio, but I wanted to show you this as we are trying not to hide anything at all. We can also have the lucky trader for the month of July, again, overall 15,436. And for August, we are actually up, despite what you saw over here. So when we are changing the lucky trader, we're going to add some new currency pairs in here, and then we'll see if it continues to be just as good. And it was only those two that actually tripped out. Now also Alex from Expert Forex have made a few videos this week, and I mentioned also here the trend analyzer tool. Now this one Alex has had in a form before. He's done some videos on this previously. So this is one that actually shows you the longest trends, if it's sell or buy. And they also put in to a slow vibration or fast vibration in here. So definitely go and have a look at this particular video, because with everything that goes on in the Forex market at the moment, it is definitely a much needed video to watch. And this particular tool is also a free download tool. So I'll make sure Again, for the Expert Forex forum members in here, there is a link so you can go and find it. And again, you can then add it to the charts to see which ones are trending by how much at the moment, and try and actually get your settings right. And yeah, Alex has also noticed here with this particular video, he just sent that out over the weekend. Unexpected market changes cause blown accounts. And also here he uses the same words that we use. It is simply carnage at the moment in the Forex market. So everything that should normally be within certain boundaries has gone completely nuts and haywire in here. And obviously he's explaining also a bit about that and how volatile and crazy the Forex market overall has been. So that's what we had for you in this week's news report. As you can see, it is completely carnage. We are completely destroyed. What has happened here in this particular week, and just right before we were actually doing this particular video here with our RSI Liberator PAMM account, which has been extremely faithful. It has been extremely low risk. And then all of a sudden we have some issues in here with a lot of different trades that we did not expect. When we expected to have bigger gap sizes, we all of a sudden got smaller ones, and we got even bigger lot sizing also. We definitely need to understand this. I will work with EA Factory and Alex to understand exactly why this happened, and exactly why it only happened on the RSI account and not on the Wave Liberator account. On that, as I mentioned, it looks to be working exactly as it should be. We have, just until we have this one sorted out, dialed down our EAs dramatically to make sure that we get out of any drawdown that is currently in here. Let the EAs trade at a very small lot size, and then we'll pick it up from there again to make sure that nothing else happens. Definitely we did not want anything of the sort. We haven't seen anything of this in our testing before, so obviously we need to understand why this has actually happened in here. And as you can see, we are trying to be as open and honest with everything that is actually working here. But I can tell you that the Forex market, in the 5 years that I have traded this one, have never seen anything like this at all. So if you are a starter in the Forex market, you might want to wait a couple of months until everything is settling down, because this looks more and more like the crypto market, where it doesn't have a bottom, it doesn't have a top. Before, that's why we like the Forex market. We could normally also see the highs, the lows, and also we could see that the analysts were talking about support levels and also bouncing back. Here, everything has completely thrown through any support level. It has gone to either new all-time highs, or it has gone to new all-time lows. It has been completely carnage and mayhem in this particular month for July, and it looks like also that August is still well underway. So the storm is still very much there. So have a look and try and dial down all your EAs if you have anything running at the moment, and let's weather the storm, and then hopefully we'll come out on the other side stronger and even wiser. So until my next video, I see you around. Bye bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.